Hey, this is Ciderhelm, and welcome to Don't Feed Katarina. Check out Katarina's ability mechanics or how to counter her by clicking on either of the videos above. You can also click the annotation at the top at any time to return to this table of contents. As always, items, runes, masteries, and summoner spell recommendations can be found in the movie description below. And if you're new to League of Legends or have friends or family who are, check out www.learntheleague.com to learn about my ebook. Katarina is strongest against champions such as Karthus and Lux who rely on skill shots, lack escape mechanisms, and lack instant, easy-to-land crowd controls. She is definitionally a snowball champion, meaning that she is capable of turning a small advantage into a huge gain during a match. This is true within teamfights due to her passive, but is also true when looking at how she plays throughout the whole match. With a slight edge, Katarina can often pull well ahead of her opponents and become a serious threat. Slightly behind, on the other hand, and she can easily become incapable of engaging in most teamfights and incapable of dealing enough damage to bring opponents down. In addition to this, she lacks significant utility such as crowd controls that help secure kills. To gain the edge you'll need to be successful, you want to accomplish three things. First, you must clear minion waves quickly and maximize your gold income. Second, you should aim to harass your opponent, either to reduce their gold income or ideally to push them out of lane. It pays to be aggressive early and often. Keep in mind you are not restricted by a resource, so use your abilities as often as it's smart to do so. Third, you should aim to pick up kills and assists in other lanes as soon as possible. While Katarina is not as capable of a takedown as certain champions in the early game, her mobility still allows her to quickly move in and deal burst damage similar to other assassins. Coordinate early with your team to help get ahead, then use that advantage to snowball to victory. When entering fights, it won't always make sense to be the first one in. Unless you're doing exceptionally well, it can be a good idea to hang back for a few seconds at the start of a team fight and engage unexpectedly to finish off an opponent. This makes it harder for opponents to immediately counter you and greatly increases the chances of follow-up damage due to your passive. Katarina's abilities require you to think in three unique ways. First, you must think in terms of her bouncing blades. Let's say you have 5 minions lined up. Throwing your blade at the middle minion means it may not bounce back to the other minions. Keep in mind that the mark from bouncing blades allows for very easy wave farming with Sinister Steel, so hitting the most minions is important. Let's add a champion to the mix. If they're staying out of your range, think about how to hit them. By landing your blade on the minion next to them, you may not hit them. Firing from the other end, though, may land the blade. Thinking in terms of bouncing blades adds a level of finesse to your play that will increase your last hitting and harassment against opponents. Second, you must think in terms of the mobility offered from Shunpo. The first thing I recommend is enabling smart casting both on Shunpo and on your item slots. This is because being able to instantly place a ward and Shunpo on it acts as a secondary flash. Get used to this and try to carry wards around as often as possible. Think in terms of your Shunpo. Anytime your Shunpo is available, you'll usually have a lot of options. You can jump to minions, or to champions, or to a ward to get over a wall. If you want to damage a champion, keep in mind that Shunpoing to a target near them is often going to be just fine. This is especially important near towers, where using Shunpo on an enemy may otherwise place you in the tower's attack range. Beyond this, be careful using your Shunpo to initiate if you may need it to escape. It's an incredibly useful ability for harassment, but having it on cooldown at a critical moment can be a death sentence. Keep track of incoming minion waves, as these offer an easy escape, and may allow you to engage your opponent more directly than you otherwise would be comfortable doing. Incoming minion waves should be looked at as a safety net where you can often, but not always, be more aggressive than you otherwise could. Third, you must think in terms of her passive. You must get used to following up kills or assists with immediate new combos to maximize your damage. Because these opportunities tend to present themselves later during a match, developing muscle memory can take longer, so try to consciously go into teamfights thinking of what your next target is after your first target dies. Katarina's Death Lotus ultimate is her strongest damage tool. However, it is on a relatively short cooldown, and because of this you should feel free to use it for harassment in lane unless you know a big play is about to occur. In teamfights, using Death Lotus to help pick up your first kill or assist means it may become available again for cleaning up someone attempting to flee at the end of a fight. As often as possible, keep an eye on the actual ability, particularly when traveling through brush or the jungle, or when playing against stealth champions. If the ability is available, it means someone is certainly in range. Death Lotus is easily interrupted and very few teams will be unable to cancel it out. In an engagement, it can be a good idea to wait a moment for heavy crowd controls to be used during the initiation, as this can allow you to more easily pull off an uninterrupted Death Lotus. That said, alert players may simply not allow you to pull this off. In these cases, use Death Lotus to force their attention. Alternatively, if a champion is saving an AoE crowd control for you, use the threat of Death Lotus to delay the ability. In the worst case scenario, just use it for a few ticks of damage between your other abilities. Katarina's combos are simple, and you'll need to use them frequently and quickly. First, land your Bouncing Blade on your targets. Then, consume the marks by casting Sinister Steel. This is a really simple combo, and technically you can consume the marks with anything else, including new Bouncing Blades, without a damage loss. But it's critical for clearing minions and maximizing damage in teamfights. Now, let's add in Shunpo. First, land Bouncing Blade on your targets, then Shunpo to them. Finally, cast Sinister Steel. This lets you stay at a range until you engage. Shunpo grants a bit of damage reduction if your opponents react, and Sinister Steel will help you get out faster if you also hit a champion with it. This QEW combo is ideal for harassment and farming in the early game. Thanks for watching Don't Feed Katarina. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for other awesome League of Legends content.